It's happening, right now. Western luxury automakers, once the undisputed kings of the road, are facing a collapse they didn't see coming. For decades, names like BMW, Mercedes-Benz, and Audi stood as unshakable symbols of wealth, engineering excellence, and global prestige. They weren't just car brands, they were status icons. Owning one meant you'd made it. But that era is unraveling. Fast. A shockwave has just emerged from the east. Huawei's Maextro S800. A car so advanced, so luxurious, and yet so affordable that it's forcing Western brands into full-blown panic mode. This isn't just a car, it's a warning shot. A symbol of how China isn't just catching up, it's overtaking the West in what used to be its strongest domain: luxury, innovation, and technology. In May 2025, Chinese tech giant Huawei, along with automaker JSC, unveiled the Maextro S800, a premium electric sedan that stunned the industry. With a price tag starting at around $98,000, this vehicle directly targets models like the Mercedes Maybach and BMW i7. But it offers more power, more technology, and more innovation at a fraction of the price. Within just 30 days of launch, it racked up 6,500 plus pre-orders. For Western brands, that number was terrifying, because this isn't a slow burn, it's a tidal wave. The kind that can drown decades of legacy, market dominance, and pride. Under the hood, a tri-motor beast delivering 852 horsepower, 702 kilometers of range, and 5C ultra-fast charging, from 10% to 80% in just 12 minutes. Inside, a triple-screen Harmony OS dashboard, zero gravity seats, a 43-speaker surround system, and a starlight ceiling that rivals the Rolls-Royce Ghost. And all of it starting at 1/4 the price of a Maybach S680. This is not a disruption. This is annihilation. Let's talk numbers. In 2023, China sold over 26 million cars, more than double the US market, and more than all of Europe combined. For BMW, Audi, and Mercedes-Benz, China is not just another market. It's their lifeline, making up over 1/3 of global sales. Now imagine losing that. In Q3 2024, BMW sales in China fell by 30%, while Mercedes dropped 10%. This isn't a blip. This is a financial hemorrhage. These sales funded everything, from new EV platforms to global operations. Without them, the whole model falls apart. Layoffs, slashed R&D budgets, and crumbling market shares are already happening. And what's worse, Chinese consumers aren't coming back. This isn't just about tech. It's about identity. In 2025, Chinese consumers are proudly choosing homegrown brands like BYD, NIO, Xiaomi, and now Huawei. They're not doing it just for affordability. They're doing it out of patriotism and pride. And they're not settling. Chinese EVs are now setting the global benchmark in performance, innovation, and design. BMW had to slash $20,000 off the iX1 just to compete. But here's the twist. Price isn't the problem anymore. The perception has shifted. Chinese cars are no longer cheap, they're superior. The Maextro S800 doesn't just challenge Western luxury, it humiliates it. And all of this is backed by state strategy, government subsidies, and a long-term vision to dominate. And here's where it gets geopolitical. China now controls 60 to 75% of the world's EV battery supply chain. Two companies, BYD and CATL, alone hold over 50% of global production. This gives Chinese car makers a 20–30% cost advantage, right from the start. Meanwhile, Western automakers depend on fragmented, bloated, and outdated global supply chains, most of which rely on Chinese imports. Think about that. The very countries trying to impose tariffs on Chinese EVs depend on China for the raw materials, batteries, microchips, and critical components used in their own vehicles. This isn't just economic competition. It's a national security threat. Electric cars aren't just cars anymore. They're computers on wheels, connected to power grids, smart homes, and the internet. Whoever controls this ecosystem doesn't just sell vehicles. They control data, infrastructure, and digital sovereignty. The Maextro S800, powered by Huawei's Harmony OS, integrates seamlessly with smartphones, smart homes, and city infrastructure. Western automakers? Still struggling to get over-the-air updates right. This ecosystem dominance gives China the edge in shaping tomorrow's cities, mobility systems, and digital infrastructure. It's not just about cars, it's about the operating system of the future. Despite 45% tariffs, Chinese EVs are storming Europe. In April 2025, BYD outsold Tesla in Europe, with 7,231 units compared to Tesla's 7,165. Let that sink in. Chinese brands are even building factories in Hungary and Eastern Europe to sidestep import restrictions. And they're making more money. BYD earns 92-112% markup on European sales, while Mercedes and Tesla watch their margins vanish. Tesla's EU registrations dropped 45% year-over-year. Legacy brands, even worse.